Welcome along, everybody, to a venue that was built for speed. Once an airfield, now one of the finest racetracks in the world. It's qualifying day here at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix.
Hello there everybody, it's Joe here and welcome back to my F1 25 My Team Career Mode. We're now home, Silverstone, for the British Grand Prix. If you haven't seen the last one, do be sure to check that one out before you see this one. Finally, a set of upgrades have worked and been fitted onto the car. But the other set of upgrades we were waiting for, you guessed it, they failed. But at least we have something on the car, and hopefully it's going to give us a little bit more speed here and give us a chance to fight near the front into Q1 then. And so far, this lap, it's felt decent, but it's not that decent, to tell you the truth. It's P19. That was a miserable effort, so we have gone again, and we found half a second actually, despite having a shoddy first sector. However, running wide into Stowe doesn't help. We're still looking at gaining about half a second as we come round the final corner, and we lost a bit of time around there. We didn't really get a strong lap put together, and as a result, it's a Q1 exit. That's a very miserable exit and a lot to do in the race ahead.
The home of British motorsport, but also the birthplace of the Formula One World Championship. It's race day here at Silverstone, a classic on the calendar, and it's time for the British Grand Prix. The 3.6-mile-long Silverstone circuit is one of the longest of the season, with 18 corners in the current layout. With average lap speeds reaching around 145 miles per hour, it's also one of the quickest tracks of the year. Watch out for cars taking the right-handers of Abbey and of Copse flat out. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Mika Hakkinen lines up on pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Russell, Ayrton Senna and Leclerc, Tsunoda, Sainz, Fernando Alonso and Alex Albon, Gasly, Doohan, Paul Aron and Hülkenberg, Antonelli, Piastri, Gabriel Bortoleto and Franco Colapinto, Stroll, Behrman, Lawson and Isaac Hadjar rounds off the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race.
Starting P15 for the race, then a couple of penalties have moved us forwards, and we are underway here. We're a little bit late on the lights, but it's still a very nice launch. Doohan not away too well, and we're just looking for a way through the middle now. We've taken that, we've moved up to 12th, and if I get this right, we can have another look down the inside. We have a warning for a collision with Aron. We might get another warning for that, but we're looking at trying to take P10 around the outside here. We have to settle for 11th, but it's still a decent start. Up 5 places from our grid position, and that is a very decent start as we have a look for Pierre Gasly down the inside. No room there. Tsunoda is in P9, Gasly 10, we're in 11th, Albon 12th, and Paul Aron behind in 13th. Unfortunately for us though, the top 10 just starting to stretch away, and we're really struggling for pace here. And we've got Alex Albon right behind. He's going to have DRS. He's going to have a run. And Albon taking that run and moving up into 11th. Not a lot we could do about that as Albon gets through. And I think he will pull away from us now. He's already got some good momentum there. Oscar Piastri's going to come through as well. There's no fighting him. He's in a McLaren. He's going around the outside of Copse. He's made that work. Piastri moving up into P12. That is not a good way for us to start the race. Lap 2 and we're back down to P13. And the cars ahead are pulling away and racing each other. Meanwhile, at the front end of the field, this is Hakkinen leading Norris. And Lando Norris surely is going to want to go at taking the lead here. Down to Stowe they go. Lando Norris all over the back of Mika Hakkinen and pulling alongside and sweeping round to take the lead. Lando Norris up into P1. Hakkinen down to P2 in the McLaren. Surely he's going to want another look. But look at that. Lap 5 and we're losing about a second a lap to Alex Albon. The pace in this race is where we've had our failed upgrades really starting to show. In the wet of Austria, the deficit we had didn't matter so much. But here at Silverstone, it's showing itself as Jack Doohan gets through up into P13. We now drop to 14th, and that is just misery here at Silverstone. Aaron luckily 3 seconds behind, so there is a driver we're pulling away from, but it's Paul Aaron as we head round Woodcote for the first time. And we now switch back to this battle between Hakkinen and Norris. Norris leading the way, but Mika Hakkinen is wanting that place back. He pulls alongside, and Mika Hakkinen takes the lead of this British Grand Prix. And now we're trying to stay within DRS of Doohan. We have done that, but unfortunately we don't have a lot of overtake that we can use to our advantage. And we have a yellow flag anyway. That is because of Pierre Gasly slowing down with a puncture, so unfortunate there for Gasly. Senna is also out of the race. He's had an engine problem. So 2 cars dropping out in front of us, putting me into P12. And all I can think is, come on, another couple of cars, please. And we can get a point. Oh, it's a miserable day here at Silverstone for us. As we now head on to lap 8. And once again, this is Hakkinen and Norris disputing the leading positions. And this is Lando Norris taking the lead from Mika Hakkinen. And Lando Norris up into P1. We're still in P13. Just having our own race. And now we've got Lance Stroll right behind us. And I don't think we're going to be able to hold him back for long. I'm going to try my best to do it. And here we go down the Wellington Straight, sorry. We go to cover, but Stroll getting through. What could we really do about that? Lance Stroll just making us look like we're standing still. We really need these upgrades, because without these upgrades, we are not looking in a very good position at all. So hopefully in the next few races or so, they get fitted. There's Gasly's car retired, so he pitted in and then retired. We're up to P6 on the grounds that we haven't stopped yet. And I was running long in the hope that we see a safety car or a red flag. But there's no such thing materialising for us, unfortunately. And as we head onto the Hangar Straight, we are just going to lose these places. Look how much more grip they've got, and look how much more speed they've got. Through goes Leclerc. Through goes Alonso. Piastri not quite making it because I've blocked him off. He's now going to try the outside of Stowe. Again, no way through there as we both go deep. But I'm going to pit in anyway. It was worth a chance. And it didn't work out for us. So now, yeah. It's going to be a case of hoping that we see a safety car at some point in the late stages of the race, so I can jump into the pits, get a fresh set of tyres on, and try and race the people in front. And just to make matters that little bit worse for us, of course, we have a tyre issue. We have an issue fitting one of the tyres, and that just sums up the day we're having. But we do manage to come out in front of Bortoletto, holding on to P13, and I'm going to be honest, that is pretty much where we stay for the rest of the race. Nobody bothers me from behind, but we don't have the pace to bother anybody in front of us. So it's a bit of a lonesome P13 drive. Yeah, we just don't have the pace. The car doesn't have the pace. I didn't have the pace. It's just a shocking day all round, and a race that I was so glad to see the back end of. We did end up with a penalty. Lando Norris is your race winner again. So Norris taking the fight to Max now. But for us, it's going to be a miserable P13. Oh, I hope these upgrades come. I really do. We need more. We need to do better. But for now, P13 in our home race. Nothing really to write home about. I'm just glad to see the back end of it, like I said. Hopefully we'll do better next time.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Here's the checkered flag, and our winner has landoed. It's Lando Norris for victory.
And that's 2 wins in a row now, of course, Crofty. And it marks the fact that it's not a fluke. So, you know, their head's in the right space. What more can we see going forwards?
From lights out to the checkered flag, each and every driver has this moment in the back of their mind. Now it's time for their celebrations. Our podium, it awaits. He holds the trophy aloft, and why shouldn't he? A richly deserved win today for Lando Norris. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Lando Norris is your race winner then. Mika Hakkinen finishing second. A great battle they had early on, but in the end it could only be won by one, and it was won by Lando Norris. Hakkinen gets second, Verstappen getting third, with Russell fourth, Tsunoda fifth, Alonso sixth, Leclerc seventh, Piastri eighth, and it's a double points finish for Williams in 9th and 10th, which doesn't help with our rivalry with Williams at this stage. So I think that's going to help Williams win out in that particular rivalry. Guys, we've got to head back to the drawing boards and get more upgrades on this car. So first thing I'm doing as soon as we get out of this race mode is going to research and just putting together anything and everything that I can, and hoping it helps us with this car. But Max Verstappen's lead now down to 26 points. So it is starting to come down now, and we have got a bit of a fight brewing. Russell third in the standings. He's a way off, so it's literally a two-way fight at this stage. Tsunoda fourth, Hakkinen up to fifth, Senna sixth, Piastri seventh, Leclerc is eighth, and 9th and 10th obviously is Alonso and myself. Well, a disappointing day all round, and Colapinto still on 8 points, so he still needs to score more after Monaco. Hopefully in the second phase of the season he does. There's the constructors standings. Aston Martin have now gotten ahead of us, and Williams are closing in too. Thank you for watching this installment. Please don't forget to leave a like and hit subscribe if you're new and you want to see more content from me. Until the next time, I have been Joe, TTFN, ta-ta for now, take care, and enjoy the rest of your day.